Fix what I couldn't see. Eating clean, playing my part. Still something breaking inside my heart. I was doing everything right, and everything kept getting worse. Following every line they drew, still ended up in reverse. Five pills lined up on the sink, one telling me what to think. Said give it time, you'll be okay. But I kept drifting further away. I was doing everything right, and everything kept getting worse. Gave them everything I had, still couldn't break that curse. Then one day I just let it go. Stopped chasing what I didn't know. Took one step, changed one thing, turned my back on everything. This is my why. North Dakota Carnivore changed my life. Kept it simple, stripped it down, turned it all the way around. Lost the weight, cleared my mind, left that old road far behind. What I found was something true, did it myself, and so can you.
I don't know what that was, but good morning. How's everybody doing out here today? It's a beautiful Saturday morning. It's still pretty cool out. It's just over 71 degrees out right now. So not bad. Heading up into the mid 90s today here. I've already been out. I did my walk this morning. This is just a recap of my walk. The best part here is right in the middle, between 25 and 40 minutes, I was doing a 15-minute, 31-second pace per mile. The overall was 16 minutes and 19 seconds a mile for my whole walk. I believe that's what it was. Let's see, this one. 16 minutes, 18 seconds. My average heart rate only went to 110. The first half a mile, almost 3/4 of a mile, it didn't get above 100. It was stuck in the 90s. Just, kind of hanging out there. It's 3.49 miles, close enough to 3.5 miles for the whole walk. This was my heart rate, and you saw I was in the moderate zone most of the time. About 3/4 of the way over, you see there's a big dip there where it drops down again. I paused my uh, watch for my workout. The farmers market's there, and this is where last couple of years we've gotten our raw cream and raw milk at, and I stopping in to see if they were there. They've only been there a couple times this year. They haven't been there much, so didn't get any. I turned it off a pause. My heart rate was down to 90 again, and I had to get out and move quick again to get back up there, but it worked. And then, I wear CGM. This is what it was overnight. Actually, last 6 hours. So my lowest overnight was 71 for my CGM. Not bad. So that's what I did this morning already. I'm still sweating. You can see there's a little bit of sweat still not dry on my shirt. I didn't get back here but a few minutes ago. This whole week, though, today's day 8 in a row of some type of activity for exercise. I'm doing alternate day fasting today. That's what I did. I've been doing the Saturday alternate day fast for the last, I think it's 3 weeks now. I found my body's responded better doing it on a Saturday opposed to a Friday. It's not hard for me to do right now, and I'm actually really appreciating that because it makes a world of difference. Now, last Saturday I did a 5-mile walk. Sunday I did a 3.5-mile walk with a weighted vest. And then I started Focus T25. I did the Focus T25 Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday, I don't remember what happened, but I didn't do the workout on Wednesday. Oh, it's because I ate. I broke my fast. Man, I got home kind of late. It was time to break my fast. My body told me it was. So I ate instead of doing my workout. And then I did it on Thursday and Friday. So now I'm set up for a Monday through Friday Focus T25 workout. I posted those 5 workouts on my channel. I don't know if I'm going to post any more of them like that. That's 4 weeks and that's just too many of the same workouts, I guess, for me. I might try to do a sped up version just to show it and then talk a little bit about it. Or I just might wait until, the end of the week and do a comp to show everything that was going on. Now, this is the first time I fasted, 72-hour fast, and I actually gained weight while I was fasting. Yeah, after my last fast, I went up 4 pounds, and I usually drop that within the first 2 days, and the last day I'll be down 1 to 3 pounds. And that's what I go off of for my new weight. Didn't happen this time. I know from previous experience doing the T25 workouts and Insanity and the Shanti workouts, I tend to gain weight right away when I start doing these workouts. I will build up muscle faster than I'll start losing weight. Now, it doesn't take much to put on a little bit of muscle for you to gain weight. I gained a pound, 209, not a big deal. But I've noticed a bigger increase in my weight, and I've done really well on watching my calories right now, what I'm eating, what I'm putting in my body. After this last fast, I've maintained a very strict calories to lose weight, and I've gained more weight than what I really thought I was going to gain. I think a lot of it has to do with changing out a little bit of that fat to more muscle in my body, my legs. My God, my legs yesterday, I almost fell over a couple times doing my workout yesterday. Uncle Willie's the first one in this morning. Good morning, Uncle Willie. And Uncle Willie is over there on Rumble hanging out. I appreciate you coming on here and saying hi, Uncle Willie. always great to have you on here. Werewolf is in the house. Good morning. And this is one of the creators who got me looking at doing this stuff again, to doing workouts, was Werewolf. She's got a great channel. Check it out. It's the same as her name right there, Werewolf 1980. And after she does a sped up version of her workout and then she talks, it's actually pretty good. I like watching her channel. Dawn, my Carnivore Chronicles, good morning. So great to see you here this morning. Babe Doll, good morning. Babe says, hello, Carnivore crew. Lance, good morning, y'all. Great to see you in here. Lynn 22Q Cat, good morning. Awesome to see you. Oh. Got it. We got people. I have two different channels up. I have both the long version and the phone one, so people can see them on both. And don't forget to hit that like button. I do appreciate it. Jeff is in the house. Good morning, Jeff. How are you doing today? Great to see you in here. Living in Tampa Bay. Top of the mornings. Great to see you in here. How are you doing this morning? Wisecracker, good morning. How you doing? Cindy or Cynthia, how are you doing this morning? It's great to see you. Don says 82 in the garage at 2 a.m. this morning during my workout. No need for a sauna, right? That is toasty. Deja, good morning. How are you doing, Deja? It's nice to see you in here. That's actually really cool to see you come in and stop in. I appreciate that. For those that don't know, I know Deja from Finally Fasting. She's one of the people that goes into the group and with Jerome, and we do our fasting there. Jerome should be coming on here this morning too. I didn't even check on when he was coming on, because today is Jerome's 1,000 day on his journey for health with fasting and trying to lose weight and trying to get healthy again. So he's not on yet. That's good. Uncle Charlie, you're crushing T25. Good morning. I appreciate that, Uncle Charlie. It's been kicking my ass. It really has. But the one thing that really surprises me is I am not nearly as sore now as when I first did them. I'm pushing it through just like I did before. You'll see me, I stop when I can't do it. Like yesterday, there were several times I stopped because I almost fell over because my legs were so weak. But it's amazing. I am not nearly as sore as I thought I would be. I have some tender muscles, but nothing like before when I was doing this 12 years ago. I can still, doing this 12 years ago, after doing the first week of it, going to the bathroom and sitting on the toilet, getting back up again was painful because you have to use your leg muscles. I don't have any of that this time. Werewolf, first day of creamless month. Yes, it is the first. So it's going to be tough, but I know you can do it. I know you've got that in you. Jiffy, good morning. How are you? It's great to see you here today. Did I see Lion Danivore's video? He had a TIA. Yes, he had a mini stroke. And he blamed it on coffee. Or he believes it's from the coffee. And I gave up coffee, 49 days ago now? And I was having pain in this wrist right here. Just closing my hand like that would cause pain. Gripping this bottle of water caused pain. And I gave up coffee to get rid of that pain. I did that shortly after I started my carnivore diet. I started carnivore in August of 2024. And in October, I gave up coffee and I gave up alcohol on the same day. within 3 days, that little pain that I used to have in my wrist doing that went away. I had a pain in my left heel that went away. So I was great. After about 9 months, I was like, okay, I don't know what caused the pain, if it was the alcohol or if it was the coffee. I introduced coffee again because I like coffee. I drank coffee for about another year. And then guess what? I started getting the pain again. During that year, this is at work where we drank mostly a specific brand of coffee. Um, Back in May, we switched to a different brand and we drank that for about 2 months. And then I started getting that pain and I'm like, it was coffee. So I gave up coffee again. And that was 49 days ago. Amazing what happens when you get toxins out of your body. Your body really responds to it. It really does. And that's one of the things where me just knowing that makes a difference because I can feel how different things affect me. I can go back to the taco seasoning that we had when I first went carnivore. It was like 30, 40 days into it when we tried the taco seasoning. And it made me feel like I got run over by a truck the next morning. Jeff, good morning, Jeff. He says, hello, everybody. I tried walking this morning, got chased back home by a thunderstorm. Only got a mile, but ran the last 2 blocks. Yes. If I look outside and I don't see it's sunny, I check the weather before I go out there. I have a walking pad down here. I can do my walk right in front of my computer and I can take care of that. I've actually been thinking about rearranging my office. I have a stand-up freezer across from me, and I thought about putting my desk back over on that wall and just moving it over a little bit, moving my weights and everything back on this wall here under the sign. That way I could actually do my T25 workout in here and not have to do it in my living room where it disturbs my family. I chase them out because I'm very I put it on YouTube, but I'm very self-conscious with people watching me in person doing it. I don't know why. I used to do aerobics. My aerobics instructor many years ago, she was doing HIIT before HIIT was a thing. She was amazing. And I had everything done except for the leave approval from my work to go to a class to become an aerobics instructor because I had such great success with it. I was going to do that. That was when I was in the military. I put in for the vacation and with the explanation and everything. It got denied by my commander. And it was shortly after that I found out that she was an aerobics instructor and she didn't want the competition in the community. So I wish I would have done it anyway. But yeah, I check. If I don't see sunshine, I check. Werewolf says I gained 8 pounds as of this morning. Totally pissed. But I also think a cup of chocolate chips caught up. It's possible that had something to do with it, but when you're losing fat and you're gaining muscle, I've done this before. Let me show you. Yes, this will work. Okay. My granddaughter leaves me presents. She puts these things around my office and my computers just to say hi because she loves me. Let's call this a pound of fat. That's a pound of muscle. They weigh the same, but they take up different spaces. So it's one of the important things for working out and for losing weight. It's one of the things that many people forget about doing is taking measurements. Taking measurements of your neck, your chest, your belly, around your belly button, your waist to your hips, your thighs, your calves, your biceps. You can measure all of these, and there are apps out there that will take each of those, but you measure them once a week. And then you can put that into something that will tell you whether or not you've lost inches. So you can gain weight and lose inches. I did this the other day where I put the tape around my belly. My belly, when I first started doing this way of eating, my belly was huge. You saw in the opening video how big my belly was. That thing had some inches on it. Let me take down this comment real quick. So you can see how big my belly is in these pictures. I had to use a scooter to get around the state fair because I weighed so much that my feet hurt just trying to walk at the state fair. And that was just 2 years ago. But the picture here in the bottom middle, where I'm sitting in that chair in the white shirt, I had a huge, huge belly. And where's the other one here? Oh yeah, this one. And this is a 1 year on my carnivore. My belly went from that big ball, looked like I was pregnant. I don't have a belly like that anymore. I don't have any real good pictures of my stomach other than this one. I don't have a stomach anymore. And it's actually kind of nice. But when I measured it just the other day, it's right at 35 inches. If I like squeeze it just a little bit, I know I can get it a little bit less, but 35 inches. You put that 35-inch into a body fat calculator, the 16 and a quarter inch that my neck was, and it gives you a better body fat number than what you would get if you just go off of BMI. It still shows my BMI is overweight for my height, my age, my weight, but it's actually not a bad thing. I like it. Just because you gained 8 pounds might not be because of that. You're doing a lot of workout. You're changing a lot of that. You're building muscle, which is great for your body. And over time, as you build up that muscle, your body's going to start burning more calories just to maintain that muscle. Then you'll start losing more fat, which is what we all want to do. Is we want to lose more of that fat, right? Uncle Willie says just tested blood sugar of 90, ketones of 1.2. That is after a 30-minute walk. Awesome. That's actually pretty good for after doing a walk. I'd like that. Jeff just broke his 40-hour fast with bacon and egg loaf. Awesome. Congratulations on the 40-hour fast. That is really good. Appreciate that. Thanks so much for the shout out. That's no problem. I do appreciate your channel. It one of the things that motivated me to get back up into doing workouts. I feel great after a workout. I feel great after my morning walk when I come out here in the mornings. So it helped me a lot. Captain Carnivore Luke, good morning. How are you? Hey, if you guys haven't checked out Luke's channel, check out Luke's channel too. He's got some great stuff. You saw I did a video of Captain Carnivore's burger press, half-pound burger press. This thing is amazing. It makes perfect burgers, gets that little divot or dimple in it so that when it cooks up, it doesn't, pop up in the middle. Really good stuff. I like that. And he's also got a 1-pound burger press for those that have big appetites. Man, we might need to get Rick to get one of those. You can make 1-pound heart attack burgers with that. Oh, yeah. A Tampa neighbor and you live in Pinellas. Okay. And we have Angie. Good morning, Angie. Y'all. 20 hours into the 120-hour fast. I wouldn't worry too much about the scale when you're working out hard. You're building back muscle. Arnold, I'll be back. I love it. Thanks, Angie. And I'm not, but I still weigh myself and I still track it so I can see where it's going. I'm not discouraged by it because I know it's going to happen. As my body gets used to it and some of that muscle gets built where, you know, fat used to be deposited and it gets redistributed to a muscle, I'll start losing weight again. And I'm fine with it. Deja said, watch some of my other videos and really love your story. He also loved the dogs. You watch some of the workout videos then. Yeah, I've got 3 dogs, the Pomeranian, the Dalmatian, and my big dog. He's a German Shepherd and Newfoundland Husky. When he was a pup, and I was doing these workouts, he was always down there licking my head. Anytime I was doing like push-ups or sit-ups or anything on the floor, he was down there. He wanted to play. Thanks, Deja. I appreciate it. So, you like Florida, swimming in the springs? I like Florida to visit. It's actually a pretty nice place. I'd like to spend more time down there. I've been in Florida a few times, not nearly as much as I could have been, but it's actually pretty good. Uncle Willie says I had coffee back on the weekend the past 2 weeks, and it's not worth it. Yeah, man. So I woke up this morning. I woke up sometime last night, and my nose, my right side of my nose is running, and I'm like, what the hell is going on with that? I just fell asleep like that, and it stopped. Woke up and it was all crusty this morning. I had a bloody nose, and I'm still like right now drinking the water and talking after doing my walk. My nose runs. Usually just condensation and stuff, but it's still leaking a little bit of blood. But Uncle Willie says he had a black coffee on the weekend the past 2 weeks. It's not worth it. And you know, I was sitting here last night thinking, man, I could have some coffee this weekend. It's been 49 days. See how a cup of coffee goes over the weekend. And then I ran into Lions Danivore's podcast and his channel where he talked about having a TIA and he's connected it to his coffee. And he knows it's not because of the carnivore diet. He knows it's not because of the way he's eating. He still has something in his system that's causing issues. TIAs in the research that he was doing, he says have to do with stress and stuff like that. And coffee does stress your body. Caffeine does. So it kind of makes sense. So after watching Dan's video yesterday, I was decided like, nah, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to drink coffee again. And so Luke said, looks like coffee's my next thing to ditch. Yeah. I guess, I had issues with the pain in my wrist and I knew what it was. I found out it was from early. And then when it started coming back, I cut coffee out. Hey, Bryce Biscuit. Good to see you here this morning. I haven't seen you for a few weeks. It's great to see that you're out here again. Babe says that may explain my left wrist. Yes, it might. Coffee does have an oxalate, and if you eliminate oxalates from your body, but you're still drinking coffee, that can still have issues with it. Angie says, Mr. Biscuit, in her best Dustin voice. Thomas, good morning. How are you doing today, Thomas? Great to see you in here today. Now, Werewolf says, I get the self-conscious of working out in front of people. Yeah. When I was a kid, I would do my mom's Jane Fonda step aerobics and feel its body motion VHS every morning. Yep. There's just something about it. Now I can work out with a partner and they push me more. And I think that's helping me to post these on YouTube is pushing myself more to continue doing it so I don't let myself give up. So that helps me. But having somebody sit on the couch and watch me do it, let's not do that. And everybody's saying good morning to Thomas. Thomas is talking back. And Angie says, werewolf, I loved working out with the body motion. Yeah. May he rest in peace. Can't believe he's gone at age 71. I had no idea who that is. Uncle Willie says, overnight 8-pound weight gain is inflammation and water. And that's, a gallon of water weighs 8 pounds. If you've drank an excess amount of water in the last 24 hours, that could be some weight gain. And the inflammation from the chocolate or anything else that you've had too is, yeah. Lynn says, I thought those older photos of you were AI. No, that's actually me. That's what I look like. Yeah. I don't have a whole lot of them. I do have a TikTok channel too, and I did some stuff on there. And when I was really big, I learned how to eat chicken wings really quick. I demonstrated that on there. But you can see how big I am on there. I am absolutely huge. Let's see, Werewolf says my Remposke is being brutal honest with me. But then again, when I first used it, it said I had 12% body fat at 142 pounds. No, sir, not true. Measuring with tape is definitely the best way. And one of the things that with these smart scales, it's an algorithm that they use. They may put a pulse through your body or a vibration or whatever it is that they sense through your body. It's not always accurate. So it'll still miss water and fat as the same thing in muscle. It's not always as accurate as what they say they are. I still take that with a grain of salt. I have a Renfo also. I use that. That's what I've been weighing on. The Renfo actually weighs 2 pounds, shows I weigh 2 pounds more than the scale I started on. So, got to take it with a grain of salt with what the everything that all the information is. I look at the weight mostly, and I don't really count for it because I gain weight, and it brings my body age up, right? Lose weight, it goes down. It's not looking at my muscle and stuff because that changes. My muscle, my fat changes and goes away, but it's still just because my weight is at 210 versus 205, it gives me an extra year as what my age is. I just basically use that other stuff. It's kind of a reference, but I don't really go for it. It's amazing transformation. It really is. I can't believe I let myself get that big. Anxiety didn't help a lot, kept me from doing my workouts. But I was on 5 medications. And if you listen to the song that I played before and after this video, that is my carnivore transformation. Now, running hard 6 days a week, I did John T's workouts 6 days a week for about 4 years. And I lost weight. I did really good until I couldn't get my heart rate. I ended up having to have surgery because I had AFib. It took a while to figure out, what was going on. I got put on more medicines, but I ended up having heart surgery. And then after heart surgery, I had anxiety, and I started gaining weight. My blood pressure went up. Those the 5 pills lined up on a sink, tell me what to think. Yeah, I was on 5 blood pressure medications, and it wasn't working. And when the part where he talks about I turned my back on everything is when I turned my back on all the nutritional information I've ever been taught in my life, and I went carnivore. I appreciate that. You guys are way too kind. Jiffy saying hi to Thomas. Thomas is saying hi back. You have the DVDs of the Body in Motion. You're gonna, you think you'll do that in the morning workout for September? That'd be awesome. It is nice to change up what you're doing too. Lynn says I need to get one of Luke's burger presses. Absolutely. They are one of the simplest things. And then he does point out that they're 3D printed. They're not food safe. That he uses the plastic wrap, top and bottom, and then they just pop right out. There's no mess. I was like, why in the hell didn't I think of that? I started using it on my other burger press, doing the same thing, and it's like, this is genius. I don't know why I never did that before. But this burger press is one of the simplest ones I've ever used. It's amazing. Check out Luke's channel. He's got some really good stuff on there. Get that half pound and the 1 pound press. Wisecracker says, I really didn't care for the beach during the daytime. It's hot. It is. The beach that I really liked to go to when it was really hot was the Costa Brava, the Mediterranean coast of Spain. Beautiful pebble beaches, hot. Oh my goodness. Mediterranean, the area down around Lorette de Mar and Blanes, beautiful water. It was really clear back in the 80s when I was down there. Loved it. We'll have started and stopped coffee so many times. I'd probably been giving up alcohol after getting my ass kicked by cops and spending the night in jail after a sudden drunk street fight. Yeah, that does happen. See, my daughter is that way. She gets a few drinks in her and she thinks she's Superwoman, and she'll take on anybody. She never took on the cops though, but she has been involved in a few scuffles. Uncle Willie says blood pressure 124/85 and weight 203. 5'9", just some numbers to show where I am currently. And you know what? Those aren't bad numbers. The 124/85, that's actually not bad. Just what 2017, I think it was when they changed it. 130 was it 130 or 140/90 was the limit then. And then they changed it to one less than 120/80. It's just so they can push more medications. And the 140/90 prior to that, it was, I believe it was 130 plus your age over 90 or over 100 or something like that. So those numbers are actually really good and heading in the right direction. Yeah, I had no problem giving up alcohol. Yeah. I get you. You had no problem giving it up after that incident. That makes sense. You know, I've actually stopped drinking twice in my life. When I was in the military, I was one hell of an alcoholic. I could drink. The day I left the military, I was Fort Dix Newsy. I had out processed. I was just waiting on the next day to get on a plane and go home. I was officially a civilian. I went to have a beer and watch some TV, and they had CNN on. And they were showing the aftermath of Oklahoma City Federal Building with Timothy McVeigh. I cracked open the beer and I was about ready to take a drink when I saw what was going on. And I sat it down. I watched that for about an hour. I never touched the beer, threw it away, and I stopped drinking for over 12 years after that. All right, baddest MF, born east of the Mississippi. Used to drink Monster and it messed with your heart. Absolutely. A lot of that stuff in those energy drinks really aren't good for you. And the amount of sugar and garbage that goes into them are really bad. I see YouTube. Make it so you can edit your comments any live chat, right? That would be amazing if they would let us do that. Because you don't know how many times I screw crap up. It happens all the time. That would be the person that makes it should be able to edit it. You can delete it, but you should be able to edit it yourself too. Let's see. Angie's trying to kick the coffee habit too. This water fast should be the answer for me. It's really out of habit. I don't need it. And you've heard me say this many times, Angie. Habit is one of the hardest things to get over. You have to be paying attention to what's going on. So it really makes a big difference. And once you get over that habit, things start to fall in place. Yeah, good luck, Angie. Bride's big wife had a stroke 2 weeks back. ICU to step down to acute care, now in subacute rehab. We are challenged but blessed. Yeah, Bride's Biscuit, my prayers go to you and your wife and your family for this. Sorry to hear that. Shell Bell, good morning. How are you today? Great to see you in here. And let's see, Captain Carnivore says he's got a bug out. Raise a ruckus for the day. Love hanging out for a quick minute. You have such a great channel and crew. They're it's a great crew that comes in here. Thanks again for your video. Yep, absolutely. And I'll tell anybody, try out those because they are great. Yeah, prayers for Bryce Biscuit and his wife. Yeah, Werewolf says, oh my goodness, sorry to hear about that. Glad she is improving. Some more hellos. Yeah, Bryce Biscuit, if you saying prayers for you. Bryce Biscuit is a miracle because she can speak and move. The doctors say the scans are terrifying. Yeah, we gal that used to work for me had a stroke. I can't remember when it was. It was like back in November, and she is still in rehab in the hospital. She couldn't speak. She was basically paralyzed for most of her body, and it was absolutely devastating. And she was one of the hardest workers that we had for her position. We worked with her as our company, and to keep her insurance, she only needed to have so many hours every week on her pay to keep her insurance active, and she had a lot of vacation time saved up. We used that all until she ran out, and then her husband got her on his insurance now. So we were hoping that she would recover and to the point where she could come back to work. It doesn't look like she'll ever get back to doing anything like that because some of these strokes are just absolutely terrible. Then I have another coworker. He has many strokes, and he's just like he'll be at work. He's like, "Yeah, I'm having a mini stroke. Give me a minute." No, you got to go see a doctor. Send him off to the doctor, and the doctor says, "Yeah, he had a mini stroke. He's good though. There's no effects on him." Like, it happens. Uncle Willie says, I've decreased my weight and increased my rep for weightlifting workouts, trying something different. Yeah, you don't always have to have large weights. You have to work the muscles. Sometimes using the smaller weights works a little bit better. Deja, I do these on Saturday and Sunday. I do these at 10 a.m. Central Time every Saturday and Sunday, unless there's something going on. Like we had the 4th of July parade where I tried doing a live outside. It didn't work so well. And then 2 weeks later, we had our state fair parade that I was actually a part of. I couldn't do my video then. And then Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, when I'm doing my 72-hour fast, I am going to be doing lives at 6:15 Central PM for accountability. So I do it between 2 and 5 days a week. This coming week, I'm doing a 5-day fast. So we're going to do a 5-day in a row, to actually end up being 9 days in a row because Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday, Sunday again. I'll probably am doing at least 9 days in a row, just to it's for accountability and to help anybody else out. So, Shelbell says, I feel ya. I were to gain and be big like I was, I don't think I'd live through it again. I don't either. I can't believe I let myself get that big. I have pictures somewhere of when I was doing my insanity stuff. Terry P, good morning. When I was doing my insanity and my T25 workouts and all that stuff, I lost a lot of weight. I got in really good shape. I had the definition of my stomach. You could see my six pack mostly. Now I tell people I have a six pack that's surrounded by a cake or a mini cake. But getting back into it, I feel so much better. Yeah, I was on Rick's channel up until just a little bit ago. I also was on look up her channel again. What the heck is it? I wonder if she's still alive. The Iron Lady Doc. She has given up her practice and she does coaching now. She's still a doctor, so she still has credentials like that. She still does her thing, but she gave up her actual practice because she no longer agrees with what you have to do as a doctor for being able to treat people. Insurance companies and all that stuff. I've never heard her say that she was carnivore, but she talks like a carnivore. So I give it up to her. She's really good. You guys check it out. She's got a great channel. But I was listening to her and Rick at the same time, and then I came in here and did this here, and I have to put them on mute. Like right now, I still have her up. Lynn says, I saw that in your burger press review, Lance. Good idea for the plastic wrap. Yeah, Luke had a great idea, and I saw him doing the demonstration of the way he does it. I was like, man, that just makes sense. I've used like butcher paper and stuff before, and it lasts for so long, and then you got to swap it out. But the way Luke does this, he has a strip for each one, so he does the burger, presses it, and then he wraps it, and then he freezes it like that. Really good. I just cook them. Shelbell says, I will be joining you on some sardines. Or will I be joining on some sardine days with Larry? I don't think I can do 30 days. I for sure have to work towards it. 3, 7, so on. Yeah. I do plan to. This week I'm going to be doing a 5-day fast. And I think on Saturday, next Saturday, I want to run down to our Costco and see if I have any luck getting some sardines from them. But what I was thinking of doing was doing my 72-hour fast next week. And then the Thursday and Friday that I eat, break my fast and do it as a sardine fast. And then Saturday, do my 36-hour fast. Sunday, beef. Just do my beef so I can go back into my 72-hour fast. I don't know if I could do sardines like that and then get back into a 72-hour fast afterwards. So I do like to have my beef. But I do plan to do some. Let's see. Werewolf says, I miss the beaches in the 80s and 90s. My husband and I stopped going to the beach after COVID and the influx of New Yorkers and California's taking up space. I get that. My wife and I lived in California for a year in the 90s. When I left the military, my wife was in Southern California. So I got out and I moved there. We were there for about a year before we moved out. It's California's a nice place to visit for a day or two and then get out. That place is just nuts. Wisecracker says, "When I drink too much, I turn into a happy, fun guy. Loosen up, try to crack jokes. Never try to fight. Never try out." My ex, though. Yeah, there's always that ex, isn't there? Werewolf, my husband is a Marine. We were stationed in North Carolina. We would get so drunk on the weekends, and the barracks parties were insane. Absolutely. Barracks parties were the best. He got out because of how bad we were drinking. Yeah. Uh, Military does do a great job of turning people into alcoholics. It really does. Riceberry's American College of Cardiology and American Heart Association guidelines target LDL just this last week. Changed LDL ceiling down to 90 or 55, depending upon disease and age, down from 30 to 40 for statins. And yeah, who's setting their guidelines that they want? It's not the College of Cardiology, it's not the Heart Association. The drug companies are paying them big money, funding to change those so they can sell more drugs. Tell them to F off and, not going to take it. LDL is not the problem. And they have the research out there that shows the LDL is not the problem, which is crazy because, you can search it and it takes just a couple minutes on Google or on any of the AIs to find the research. It's there. See, Chauvel says I could pound a gallon of bourbon. I drank bad. But God delivered me. That's for sure. I might have a glass of wine or a mix every now and then. Yeah, Chauvel. I mean, in the military, you get paid on the 1st and the 15th. And by the 3rd and the 18th, I was broke. Good thing, we had a mess hall and I could eat there because it only took me a couple days to drink my paychecks. It was bad at the end. And I actually gave it up cold turkey when I did quit for 12 years. I gave it up straight away. Didn't have anything. I had more important things to do at the time. My girlfriend, who's now my wife, she was pregnant with our daughter, and had more important things to spend my money on than alcohol. So that's why I quit. Wisecracker says, "My current wife, her last husband, died from alcohol. Daily sloppy drunk. Shelbel, I'm glad you got delivered." Absolutely. Sick. Bryce Biscuit's wife had an issue. She's been in the hospital. Bryce Biscuit says, "Every day is a blessing. Live life to the fullest, and we don't know what tomorrow brings." My wife had no disease, perfect health, weight by the numbers, right? And you never know. And it is something that's difficult to deal with. Let's see. Shelbel says, "My late husband died also going on 8 years ago." Sorry to hear that. Angie Bridesbury said there's a great video by Benazati's channel with a cardiologist. It's very informative. He said they're waiting to give statins to, they are wanting to give statins to teenagers instead of getting them off the crap food. Right, because it's about money. Wife had a massive, I can't say that word, seismic stroke, an MCA brain, but shows signs of recovery against all understanding. That is great. Rice, does she eat? Just curious, does she eat a carnivore diet, or is it just you in the household that eats the carnivore way? Babe says so far just coffee and water this morning. Awesome. Yeah, you don't need to eat if you're not hungry, babe. Just and I stopped coffee because I had issues with it. Not everybody needs to stop coffee. You stop it if you have issues. Let's see. Right, yeah. Thanks be to God for Mr. Biscuit. Yes, Angie, they're moving her. They're moving the bar on BP, cholesterol, weight, all while poisoning food to enrich pharma. Correct? They don't. It's not healthcare. It is sick care. They get us sick so they can care for us and give us pharmaceuticals so they can make a profit. Because a healthy person doesn't make them anything. Right? All things through Christ, never a doubt. Yep, Iron Lady Doc on YouTube. She is amazing. Uncle Willie says I had a stroke on 9/11/2023. It was devastating. Still have right side neuropathy, no balance, vision impairment, difficulty speaking. It was triggered by my heart failure. Yep, it does happen. And I'm glad you're getting better, Uncle Willie. It makes a big difference. Yeah, it sounds like a plan. You need to make yourself a plan. And that's, I have to have a plan. Otherwise, I don't do it. A lot of people can just wing stuff like that. I can't. I have to make a plan. Speaking of Larry, what's up, brother? How you doing, Larry? It's great to see you in here this morning. We're just talking about your sardine fast. How's that going? Today is the first. You start breakfast out this morning with sardines? Oh, I started my morning out with a 3.5 mile walk. It was a beautiful morning for it too. Rise says, sorry, Shellbell, for the loss. He left social media 10 years back because I couldn't handle seeing everyone I knew pass. I just came back last year in this health space with the support of fam here. Absolutely. I left a lot of social media about 6, 8 years ago for just because of the negativity. I came back in 2024 basically because of the carnivore diet and finding stuff on here. Everybody saying hi to Larry. Truth, it's people who own the health institutions, from the governing boards to the research to the doctors. Yeah. Larry just subbed to Werewolf channel yesterday. Awesome, Larry. Love her workouts and the way she's just normal on there. Shellball says, hey, Larry, I just remembered the meeting is canceled instead of, there's tonight instead of in the morning. I think Larry's meeting was changed today. He wasn't going to do a meeting tonight. Yeah. Right. Larry says, I wasn't going to do a meeting tonight or tomorrow. Got a lot of stuff going on right now. You never know, though. Yeah, the tree hitting the house wasn't a good deal, was it? It's a lot of work clearing that out. Werewolf says I was a baker on base at the officers club. The pilots for the Osprey would hang out at the bar when the bird was grounded. They would pass me shots when I was working in the crave station at brunch. Damn. Keep checking. Aaron, hello, friends. How are you doing today? Yeah, I got that. We were just talking about YouTube needing to have the option for people in the chats to edit the spelling or to edit their chats so that we can fix spelling, because we all screw up so much. Yeah. Lynn says, hope everything's okay with your tree situation, Larry. Yeah, I saw Lion. I saw Dan's video. We talked about just a little bit earlier in the stream. I had actually started thinking that I could try coffee, and I was going to try some coffee this morning. I sat down last night and I saw Dan put out a new video, so I clicked on that and I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to do any more coffee. I'm good. I can deal without it. It is great to see Larry come in here and all the regulars that we have that come into the Carnivore Quest that hang out here. Meet some new people too. Yeah, Angie says, good luck with those little fishies. Aaron says that my daughter's last tournament will have to watch the replay. Awesome, Aaron. I hope they do great there. You're fasting so far today. Remember, the sardine fast, according to Dr. Boz, doesn't start until you have your first can of sardines. Otherwise, it's just a water fast. Yeah, there's no money to be made if you're not sick. I'll have to look up Iron Lady Doc. Yeah. Wait a minute. Let me do that. So when I posted that on there, it wasn't her whole channel, was it? She's still alive. Give me just a minute. Hey, it's a good time now to hit that like button, right? Isn't that the way it works? Like, subscribe, leave another comment. But she has a private practice now where she doesn't see patients, she sees clients, and she helps people get back into health by avoiding the downfalls and pitfalls of modern medicine. Is basically what she's saying. Aaron's got another workout video coming out today. Awesome. I see Bridesmaid says, wife and I separated for 11 years, still married. She lives alone. Her diet, as long as I've known her, has been whole food similar to Mediterranean, but never ate processed foods or sugars. Okay. Yeah, water fasting so far. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm doing a water fast right now, 36 hours. I get to eat tomorrow. Well, when I wake up tomorrow, it'll be like 38 hours. Angie says, so glad you had a great time at Healing Humanity movie. I still want to go to that. I don't know if we could get him to come here in our town. I know just a couple blocks from my house where I do my walk is we call them the cheap seats. They take the older movies that are no longer being shown in the main theaters and they bring them there. But you can rent that place out, and it doesn't cost that much. You know, people rent it out for birthday parties. It probably wouldn't cost much. We could do the Healing Humanity movie here, but we don't have a Brazilian steak place here. We just have Longhorn, which is a good steak place. But I don't know if those guys would come to this little town here where I'm at. Tickets to fly into here are extremely expensive, but I would love to see that movie in the theater here. Yeah, can't wait for his video to come out. Larry, Angie's on a water fast for the next 100 hours. She's doing a 5-day water fast. Lynn says, good luck with that, Angie. You'll do great. She will. She's got this. Yeah. Jeff says, hey, Larry, getting your accountability here today? That's cool. It is. It's great to come in. Laurel Davis, good morning. How are you doing today? It's nice to see you in here today. Aaron says it's my bad fingers. I blame autocorrect for a lot of that, except for when it's spelled wrong. When it pops in the wrong words, that's when I can, autocorrect did it. Terry says I only have 1 cup of coffee a day, but man, you never know, right? Now, to be fair, when I was drinking coffee, even this last time, I was drinking between a pot and a pot and a half of coffee a day. I like coffee, and it just got too much for me. Let's see. Aaron says if anybody in here gets a chance to attend a screening of Healing Humanity, it is a must do. I agree. I really want to see it. Maybe I should contact them and see if we can figure out if we can do a screening here in my small little town. My wife's journey is she's still doing really good. She still likes to have the veg every once in a while, so she's still carnivore-ish. Her numbers are doing good. She still will mess up once in a while and spike her numbers up, but she's actually doing really good. Susan back. Awesome. You've got the Carnivore Zen Calm, cool vibe. As good as you to help others. I appreciate that. It's what this is all about, Susan. So many people need that accountability, even on the weekends. I started doing this about a year ago on the weekends because there wasn't a whole lot of people doing it. And there's a lot more doing it now. So it helps. Terry says I had the last few bacon slices and 2 eggs and water fasting from here on. Awesome. That's really good. Laurel says we have an event center in my town that can be rented. Right, and that's one of these things that you can do with them too. Our town is probably about 50,000 people, and maybe a little bit more, depending upon how the oil field's going. Our town increases, decreases. But the Cheap Seat Theater here is actually it's a really nice theater. They do a really good job with the upkeep, and it's got a really nice screen, and you can hook your laptop directly up to the big screen. So it's just a matter of playing it off your laptop. Bryce says my daughter went to a Korean hot pot last week and highly recommended to me as a carnivore. It was all you could eat, really. Sounds pretty cool. I have to check that out, huh? You're doing great, Laurel. That's awesome. Angie says, thank you. You're welcome. Thank you for doing all these lives. They help me just as much. So, you hear Larry talking about that. These lives help him. Well, they really do. It helps keep me accountable because tomorrow I got to come back on here and talk about how my day went yesterday and how my fast went. So it really does. It helps me a lot. Same with doing the workouts. It really makes a difference. Bride's biscuits. Autocorrect is lame. Never once in my life have I said I don't give a duck. That's because you're not Rick. Rick might say something like that. Werewolf says I drink 2 pots of coffee, right? Coffee used to be life for me. I love coffee. But it was a different brand that was causing the pain. But do I need coffee? I really don't. Angie says, glad you're feeling better, Cynthia. Yeah. Wise Cracker says, I'm going to try my hand at making beef jerky again. Anybody got a good recipe? I'm going to do liquid smoke, soy, Worcester sauce, salt, and habanero sauce. You can let it marinate in that overnight and then dehydrate it. Go to Luke's channel, Carnivore, Captain Carnivore. He shows you his recipe that he's been doing for that on there too. I just use my either salt or just plain Carnivore Companion seasoning. Season them, then dehydrate them like that. Let them sit for an hour or two at room temperature so that they soak in a little bit. That's all I do on mine. By volume, I consume more coffee than food. It's not even close. Right? Right as biscuit. I mean, that's about what happens. Terry P says, catch y'all later. Time to entertain mom, aka go for a drive. Have a great day. Have a good one, Terry. We'll see you later. Bella mentions the Korean hot pots. They are right up there with Brazilian steakhouses and likely less expensive. You have to check that out. Laurel says we have a hot pot place, but you have to ask for plain water. Okay. All of the broths are in cabbie. I actually had a water rice. I actually had a waiter nice enough to ask for me. Other than it's fun and you get all you can eat. I've never heard of that, so I'm gonna have to try that out. Wisecracker says I have to make a snack food. Gotta have an alternative for white snacks, right? Oh, Wisecracker add ginger, Jeff says. A little bit of ginger. Add some wasabi. Wasabi beef. Help clear out sinuses, that's for dang sure. Carby. Yeah. Okay, I appreciate that, Laurel. My mind didn't make that connection. But I've never been to a hot pot place before, so I don't think we don't have one of those in our town. But Longhorn is here, and it would be nice to have a screening here, because there are people in this town that do that. There are Canadians that are just across the border here. It's not a bad idea. I might have to try and see if we couldn't organize something here, because that would be amazing to be able to see it before it comes out on YouTube or whatever in a year or so. But I've caught up with a cat. It's been an hour. Holy cow, hour and 12 minutes. What a great day. I appreciate y'all being here. I'm going to head out here. For those of you who don't know him, Jerome finally fasting. He's going to be doing a live stream sometime today. I thought he was going to do it already. This is 1,000th day of his weight loss journey through fasting. So, and that's actually who I use as my, when I fast, and I've learned so much from Jerome at Finally Fasting on YouTube. He got demonetized, so now he's been doing mostly everything on Patreon. But he's been doing this again on YouTube, doing a little bit differently, but it's actually a really good channel to check out. Laurel says we have a Longhorn. We've been going there for birthday dinners, yeah. And I'm gonna be going. We go there once every other month to our Longhorn, and just get the meat. And sometimes I remember to ask them not to season it or use sugar and just grill. Sometimes I don't. Generally, when we order just the meat, I've been getting recently without anything. Larry says, thanks for the meeting. Absolutely, Larry. Anytime. I'll be here again tomorrow. Yeah, have a great day, everybody. Yeah, Lynn, it was a fast hour, wasn't it? My wife's zucchini chocolate chip cookies made with sugar and oats. That's carbs. And my little soy sauce paired with meat. I'll take my chances. I would too. I'd rather do the soy sauce than sugar and oats. Anti-inflammatory. Yeah. The ginger. By all, no cheating. And as Larry says, no carbs, no sugar, no cheating. It was nice meeting you, Laurel. Tomorrow I do the same thing at 10 o'clock Central Time, and then Monday through Friday next week I'm going to be doing 6:15 p.m. in the evening as I do my accountability for fasting. So stop in any time. Appreciate you coming in today. Y'all have a great day. Have a great weekend, and eat smart.
Yeah. trying to fix what I couldn't see. Eating clean, playing my part, still something breaking inside my heart. I was doing everything right, and everything kept getting worse. Following every line they drew, still ended up in reverse. Five pills lined up on the sink, each one telling me what to think. Said give it time, you'll be okay, but I kept drifting further away. I was doing everything right, and everything kept getting worse. Gave them everything I had, still couldn't break that curse. Then one day I just let it go, stopped chasing what I didn't know. Took one step, changed one thing, turned my back on everything. On everything. I'm Lance, yeah, this is my why. North Dakota carnivore changed my life. Kept it simple, stripped it down, turned it all the way around. Lost the weight, cleared my mind.